All right, just stay there. I am admitting students and I will start within a couple of minutes. Keep your mic muted. You need to mute your mic. I guess somebody's mic is either it is Shahzeb Khalid, I guess. All right. So now I'll keep on admitting students, huh, if they are there. So now let's continue with the lesson. All right. So we were talking about business plan. So it is actually a detailed document that consists. Who is talking? Excuse me. Zain and Shanze. Your mic is open. Zain, your mic is open. Yeah, please. Thank you very much. So please just. All right. Now, it is a detailed document that consists of business objectives and information about the operation and finance of the business. Now, remember, business plan is very important because whenever you think to start your business, you need to chalk out a plan first because nothing can go right if you do not have a plan, right? So, it is a complete document which actually talks about the objectives which business wants to achieve and the information about operations like what output to be produced, what resources to be used, like whether it will be more of labor that will be used or more of capital that will be used, okay, how much finance will be required, okay, if it is about shares, how much shares will be issued. So all every single detail related to operations and finance will be there in the business plan. And business plan is very important. Another definition of it is a detailed document giving evidence about a new or existing business and that aims to convince external lenders and investors to extend finance to the to the business. Now, this is very important. This is an advantage of having a business plan because let's say you are trying to convince a bank manager to lend you money. Can you convince that bank manager verbally? This is just not possible. You have to present something in writing, okay, because that will actually show your seriousness, how serious you are, and then bank manager will critically examine that whether the business is likely to be successful in the future or not. आप वैसे जितनी मर्जी शोखियां मार लें जी हमारा बिजनेस ये कर लेगा वो हो जाएगा और जी बहुत तरक्की करेगा, bank manager is not going to listen to you unless and until you present something in writing, and that is what we call business plan. If the more solid your business plan will be, the better will be the chances that bank manager will give you the required amount of money which you require for your business, right? Similarly, if I talk about investors as well, investors might like to look at your business plan as well before investing to see whether their money will be secure and whether they will be getting the return they want in the future or not. Because if business plan is uh, um, not good and they feel that maybe this if they follow this plan, business is not going to be successful at all. Obviously, they will back out and they won't invest money uh, if they were planning to invest earlier by looking at the business plan. So it is actually an attraction for the people who can provide you the money, all right, to support your business activity. So those could be your financial stakeholders. One is bank, the other is the investors, right? Okay, second, one more thing, which is actually the important part of business plan, and that is it provides you the direction because direction is always provided when there is an objective. Okay, otherwise, if you see no objective, you cannot decide about what would be the strategy, what would be our action plan, and how to use our energies, okay, in a particular direction. Like I can give you an example. Let's say you want to visit your friend's house, okay, and you are right now at your house. You call your friend and say, okay, I want to come to your house. So what will, so all right, what will be your question? You'll say, where is your house? Right? And then it becomes your address, your target or objective. As soon as your friend tells you, I live in Johor town or Gulberg or Defense, right? Then you know, when you know your target, you will decide about which will be the shortest route to reach that, or which will be the area which will be traffic free, so that you can reach in minimum of time, right? So it means when you get an objective or you see a target, then you plan accordingly, you make or formulate strategies or your action plan, right? Okay. So same is the case with businesses as well. If there is no objective, businesses cannot go in any direction. Okay. They will just roam here and there without achieving anything. Okay. Then, so it means it provides a direction to the business managers, even to the employees as well, because employees can see, okay, if this is the target, what would be their contribution in achieving that target? Okay. So that target can be broken down into smaller targets that can be given to the workers. So everybody will be clear about what to be done, what would be their contribution, where to focus, where to use the energies. Okay, so objective becomes extremely important because it actually makes the whole organization more efficient. All right. And the third one is that it helps evaluate the performance of the business departments and even the employees as well. Because when business has a target, the employees, they are also given a target, the department, they are also given a target, right? And on the basis of their target, right, their performance is judged or evaluated. If they fail to achieve their target, obviously it is said that the employees, they underperformed or they did not perform well, or the departments did not function well, right? This is the way we do it, huh? Like you have a desire to get an A star in this subject and finally you get B, so you say, I did not perform well. But if your target is B and you eventually get B, we'll say you were successful, because performance is always measured against the objectives. So again, it helps the business to rectify the mistakes, whatever are there. They can find out the loopholes, they can find out the root causes, but that is only possible when they will compare the performance with their objectives, because then they will be able to know na, whether the business is right on track or not. If it is not on track, to put the business back on track, they have to take some measures, okay, in that case. So I have actually explained three of the advantages of business plan. One, to get money from the bank. Second, to provide direction to the business or to the department or to the employees. And third is, performance can be evaluated on the basis of objectives. Then, crowdfunding, it is now a very common term used whenever source of finance is talked about. It's a modern term as far as source of finance is concerned, right? So we'll talk about this and then microfinance. Crowdfunding is, as the name suggests, that it is about getting funds from the crowd. Why I'm saying crowd? Because the people you do not know, we call them crowd. Okay, and why we are calling people you do not know, and there are numerous number of people. Okay, so that is what we call crowd. Crowd means people who you do not know, and they are so large in number, they that you might not be able to identify them actually. So crowdfunding is a source of finance, and that involves small amount of money from a large number of people, right? Small amount of money, you get very small from amount from each individual, but because the number of individuals are so huge, that you actually get a large amount. Okay, but the definition is when you actually obtain small amounts from large number of people. So if I talk about building dam, which government actually started, Daimar Bhasha Dam. So they actually asked for the same thing. They asked from every single people living in Pakistan to contribute a certain amount, doesn't matter how small it is. So that was actually a source of finance, that is crowdfunding. But they were actually using media as well and other platforms as well. Okay, but as a business, you normally can use, because advertising on TV is just not possible in that way, na? Because that was about the government, so they were able to do it. So eventually, they actually got millions of even billions of rupees from people in that form. Although the amount was so small from each individual, but in total it was big. And then they started the building the dam as well. But as a business, you normally uses uh, you like electronic media is not that suitable for that. So you go for social media. So you normally use internet or different websites which are there. Like there is a Kickstarter.com. There is a website there. Okay, if you get yourself registered, you can float your ideas over there, and if people like that idea, they can start funding through that website. Okay. Similarly, GoFundMe.com is another website where you can get yourself registered. Okay. So if you have a unique idea, listen again, why you do not go for traditional source of finance? Because when you have a unique idea and you think that traditional sources of finances will not be available, bank will hesitate to lend you money because it is risky. So you go for crowdfunding, because here people, every single person who is contributing is an investor, and investors are risk takers. You know that, so they might be interested even if it is risky. They feel that no, I think it can be successful. It is possible, so they start funding through that platform. But again, now it is secure as well. Why? Because you have registered through that website, and website actually has obtained all the possible information from you. So that is why it is safe, that once the people will actually fund through that website, the person will not run away with their money, right? Because the website will be responsible for that as well. So that is why it is a safe platform for the people as well to fund the money. And obviously, the purpose is to get a good return on their money, right? Now, this is the way it is done. But again, you need to remember, in crowdfunding, for example, you have floated an idea through that website, either GoFundMe or Kickstarter or any other website which is meant for that, and you were unable to raise a certain amount. Let's say you require uh, let's say $100,000 at the start. Okay, but you failed to generate that. You failed to obtain that. Okay, now you say, all right, okay, if I cannot start that business, okay, so it doesn't matter, I can go for another idea. Now this is not possible, because people have given you the money for that idea. So ये this is not possible कि आपने कहा मैं फास्ट फूड रेस्टोरेंट खोलूंगा फॉर एग्जाम्पल, तो मैं अब चलो जी रेडी लगा लेता हूँ. दिस इज नॉट पॉसिबल कि पैसे कम है तो फास्ट फूड रेस्टोरेंट तो खोल नहीं सकता, तो चले जी रेडी लगा. दिस इज जस्ट नॉट पॉसिबल. बिकॉज वाई? बिकॉज दिस विल बी wrong, because the people have given you the money for that idea, right? So this is a fraud. You can't do it. So if the certain amount of money which you were supposed to collect, if it was not collected, you are supposed to pay it back to the people. This is a disadvantage as well. You cannot use it now, because that idea now cannot work, because the certain amount which you actually uh, uh, require, it's not there. Okay, that is one of the disadvantage of crowdfunding there as well. Okay. Secondly, um, so you cannot go for any other idea, but there is an advantage as well. Advantage is, you think that your idea is workable, it can be very successful in the future. So you start with crowdfunding, and you finally realize that okay, people are not funding the way I wanted, and there is not much response from the people side. So it means that the idea is not that workable which you were thinking earlier. So in that way, without spending any penny, you can change your idea, or you can start thinking the other way. So otherwise, let's say you start your business and then you realize, because you were thinking at that time that your business would be successful, but it didn't. So then obviously all the money will be lost, right? But here you have not spent anything, but because you have got feedback from the people in the form that they did not fund you, it means that they are the consumers as well, and they think that this idea is not going to work. So now you can think that way. Okay, I was thinking that way, but if majority of the people is of the same view that this idea is not going to be successful because they are not funding, so it means that I have to think about some other idea. So this is safe as well in that way. Without spending any penny, you can get to know about the feedback as far as business is concerned. Okay, another thing is it can promote your business as well. When you go for crowdfunding, obviously, so you float the idea, okay, and then it can make your business popular before you start it, because people will get to know about it. Yes, there is a business which is going to start, or there is a new idea which will be taken by a person who is soon going to implement it. So this is how the promotion will start taking place before the business or idea is workable. All right. So I think there are some questions there. So class overall. Yeah, I know that. I know that. But I normally take till 2:30. It's too written 2:20, but I normally take 2:30 for the class. All right. Okay. Fine. So in the next class, we'll be able to cover that. But I have explained you crowdfunding. Okay. So we will discuss the crowdfunding and the next slide as well, and then we'll move on to the next chapter. But remember, as soon as the chapter will be covered, I will give you another assignment. So be ready for that as well. Those who are doing it, I'm telling you, they will actually be benefited in the end when CI exams will come. All right. So that's all. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next class.